Welcome in, and thank you for listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning, a public affairs program shedding the light on the issues and concerns of the greater Pittsburgh area. I'm your host, Johnny Hartwell. Today's topic is ovarian cancer. Now, the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition will be hosting its 2020 Together in Teal No Boundaries National Broadcast Celebration coming up on Saturday, September 26th at 7 p.m. And my guest this morning is Allie Brush, the Pittsburgh chapter manager of the NOCC, the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. Good to talk to you again, Allie. Good morning.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to hear your voice.
All right, so I've been participating with the Together in Teal walk with the NOCC for 6 or 7 years. Like a lot of organizations, you have a contingency plan. So we're going to discuss about what exactly you're going to do. But let's talk about the NOCC. Tell us a little more about your organization.
So the NOCC works in 4 basic program pillars. We work to spread the word about earlier awareness, and that would be to understand the early signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer. And also, we do quality of life programming. So quality of life programming includes our Teal Hearts Network, which is our peer support group, as well as other survivor services for local survivors in the area and nationwide. Community events such as Together in Teal, health fairs, things like that, and our research component. So those are the 4 areas in which we work, and we're proud to be a longstanding chapter in Pittsburgh. This is our 20th anniversary year.
Well, congratulations. Now, a lot of people may not know that ovarian cancer is one of the deadliest cancers. 1 in 78 women will be diagnosed in their lifetime, and no screening tests are available, which is kind of a shocker. With breast cancer, you have mammograms and self-diagnosis, and you have, doctors that, but that's not the case with ovarian cancer, is it?
No, that's right, John, and that's why earlier awareness is so important and is such a big part of our mission. Because we don't have an early detection or a screening test, it's important for women to recognize the sometimes subtle signs of ovarian cancer and to know their bodies. We always tell people, if you are aware that you've had different bathroom habits or trouble eating or feeling full quickly, pelvic or abdominal pain, or a sensation of bloating for more than 2 weeks, that's something to talk to your PC or your gynecologist about, just to get it checked out. And, it's difficult because a lot of women feel those things just with aging periodically, but when it's becomes a sensation that you're feeling for more than a couple weeks, it's worth getting checked out. So yeah, we do try to spread the word about that because of the lack of early detection. And a lot of women think that a pap smear may detect ovarian cancer, and unfortunately it does not. The pap smear screens for cervical cancer.
And what is the general age of somebody who would have ovarian cancer?
So it varies. Locally I have a survivor as young as 9 years old, but more typically, we see women who are postmenopausal.
Okay. Somebody that young, 9 years old, obviously they would have to be diagnosed by a doctor. That's just mind-boggling.
Right. So there are variations in ovarian cancer and what causes them. So, it's important if you notice anything irregular going on. And a 9-year-old is certainly atypical. But it is important to consult with your doctor if you notice anything strange going on.
All right, we're going to be...
And if you have a family history of, say, BRCA 1 or 2, it is important to talk to your doctor about genetic screening, because although people do associate BRCA with breast cancer, it can also be associated with ovarian cancer.
All right, coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking to Dr. Stephanie Archer, who's a survivor of ovarian cancer. Right now, we're talking to Allie Brush, the Pittsburgh chapter manager of the NOCC, talking about their contingency plans for Together in Teal, which Together in Teal is one of my favorite events. Not only is it a great cause, it raises a lot of money for your worthy cause, but also, I don't know how you do it, but it seems like every time you host a walk, it's the most beautiful day of the year.
We certainly have gotten lucky, knock on wood, and we love having you there. It's great to have your voice and your music presiding over the thousands of folks who show up at North Park every year.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to have the 1,000 people congregating this year, as a lot of fundraisers have done. And so you're doing something a little different. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are going to do.
Yeah, so we had to make a difficult decision nationally, obviously due to both legal constraints and the risks of congregating too many folks, many of whom can be immunocompromised. What we decided to do was take our event virtual, and we'll be holding a national broadcast on September 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it will be a presentation that will include highlighting survivors, some of our top teams across the country, and highlighting some of the programming that NOCC does. It should be really exciting. It's a 1-hour event, and we're asking our participants and teams nationwide to get together in that week leading up to September 26th and that day to go out and do something in their neighborhood, whether it's to go for a walk with their team or walk around in their backyard or go kayaking with their families, to go out and get active and think about being together in TO.
When you say broadcast, is that a social media? Do you have a network partner?
We'll be on YouTube and our website and social media.
And I'm sure you're trying to recruit a lot of people who also participate in the walk every year. So have you contacted these people? Are you looking for other volunteers? Are you looking for people to sign up?
So we're looking for people to sign up, and we've had a great turnout so far. A lot of our veteran teams are back and fundraising, and we've been lucky to have a bunch of new teams come out. So I've been really excited to see some new faces and registrants. We're still open for registration all the way through September 26th. And we will be doing a drive-through in North Park on September 20th, which would be our normal walk date here in Pittsburgh, where all the survivors who register, as well as anyone who raises $100 or more, will be able to come and pick up their T-shirt and their packet at North Park. So we'll do a contactless drive-through where folks can swing by, show us their teal spirit, and get their T-shirts so they'll be able to wear them for the event on the 26th.
You know what? I'm wearing teal as we speak. I totally forgot it. I knew I was going to talk to you, so I had to wear my teal.
I love it, John, so much.
Well, listen, you can sign up and register free at Run Walk. That's Run Walk, one word, runwalk.ovarian.org/Pittsburgh. I'm going to put you on hold because I do have some questions about your COVID relief fund, and then we'll get more details on the celebration that you're going to have coming up on the 26th. But we have a special guest on the phone now, Dr. Stephanie Archer, who is also a person that we used to talk to face-to-face back before COVID. Dr. Archer, how are you this morning?
I am fine, Johnny. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. All right, just so we're clear, you're not a doctor who is a medical expert in ovarian cancer. You are a survivor. So
Yes.
This is an experience that that is unique. So tell us your story.
So I am a family practice physician, and I work here in Pittsburgh. And I was 46 when I was first diagnosed. And I was having mild symptoms, which, when we talk to people about ovarian cancer, we tell them that the symptoms are vague and you need to pay attention to them. And like many people, I probably didn't pay as much attention to my body and taking care of myself as I should. So I started having some abdominal pain and some bloating, some bathroom changes, and I was just so tired and so fatigued. And after a few months of that, I went to my physician, and she ordered some tests, which included an ultrasound, which unfortunately showed a mass that was fairly large. It was an ovarian mass, and my workup turned out that it was ovarian cancer. So I had surgery, as many people do when they're first diagnosed, and then I went through 6 months of chemotherapy.
And your story is fairly typical. Most men, we get the sniffles, we run to the doctor and start crying. But a lot of women who, they're busy and they're moms and they've got professional life and everything else, and there's always something something weird going on with your bodies.
I think that is so true. I think that as women, we tend to take care of everybody else but ourselves. And the one thing that this has taught me, and that I'm such an advocate for when I speak to my own patients and my friends and my family, is you can't take care of anyone else until you take care of yourself. So when you're on an airplane, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before you help anybody.
It's an unfortunate lesson that you had to go through, but if you had a little piece of advice to women who are listening right now, what is that one message you would like to present?
If you notice something that is different with your body and your symptoms last longer than 2 weeks, you should talk to your doctor. You should also know your family history. Ovarian cancer rates increase, or your risk of getting ovarian cancer is higher if you have a family history of it, if you have multiple members with breast cancer or other types of cancers. We talk about screening for all other types of cancers, and there are for breast cancer, for colon cancer. The screening for ovarian cancer does not exist yet. You have to know your body, and you have to talk to your doctor if something doesn't feel right.
Even a doctor has to consult a doctor, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're patients too. Absolutely.
All right. So you're going to be participating in the celebration as well, I hope.
I am. I have Archer's Army.
Oh, is that what it is? Archer's Army.
That's what it's. Archer's Army. We're not going to be all together this year, but I still have the support, and I've been so blessed to have the support of my family and friends throughout all of this.
Dr. Archer, thank you for sharing your story, your experience, and also being such a wonderful advocate. We really do appreciate your time.
Oh, well, thank you very much, and thank you for getting the word out.
You're listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning. I'm your host, Johnny Hartwell. Today's topic is ovarian cancer. We just spoke with Dr. Archer, who is a survivor. Now we're back with the Pittsburgh chapter manager of NOCC, Allie Brush. Dr. Archer is such a sweet lady and such a wonderful advocate, and thank you for recommending that we hear her story, because she is such a wonderful human being.
Oh, sure. She's amazing, and she's such a wonderful mentor to so many ovarian cancer survivors in our community.
All right, so the reason why we're talking today is to promote your the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition hosting the 2020 Together in Teal No Boundaries National Broadcast Celebration coming up on September 26th at 7 p.m. Before we get recap some of the ideas, tell us some of the things that are happening with that celebration. But tell us a little bit more about the COVID relief fund that you guys have just developed.
Yeah, so obviously things have changed so much in our world over the last 6 months. And it's really been impactful for those undergoing treatment and who are immunocompromised. And what we found early on back in March and April was that we were really seeing an uptick in need from ovarian cancer survivors in treatment. Folks who were, really fearful about going out and being exposed to this virus in public, particularly as they undergo treatment. So while times have changed for all of us, ovarian cancer has not, unfortunately. And we found that there was a need out there, and we did develop a COVID-19 relief fund for our survivors in treatment. So we are doing our best to help those folks nationwide by providing what we call Teal Comfort for the Soul and Teal Comfort for the Mind. And through that program, we are providing fully prepared meals delivered to survivors' homes, as well as virtual mental health counseling by licensed therapists for those in need. And we've seen a groundswell of folks taking advantage of those services, and we've been happy and proud to provide them.
And if somebody wants to use some of those services, they can get more information on your website?
Yes, they should go to ovarian.org, and they can learn all about our various services, including the Relief Fund.
All right, we have about 60 seconds left. Let's talk a little more about the celebration. Give us the details once again. Sure.
So we hope that folks will get registered and fundraise just like they do every year. Looking forward to that big celebration on September 26th. They can see all the teams and the folks that are already registered by going to our website. And we are this year featuring our online auction tent, our auction tent, as you know, is usually such a big hit at the walk. So what we've done this year is create a online Digiteal auction where we have a silent auction online with tons of really great items. Autographed Steeler footballs, restaurant gift cards, all kinds of grocery baskets, fun things. So we encourage folks to check that out as well.
All right, make sure you register free at runwalk.ovarian.org/Pittsburgh. Allie Brush, the Pittsburgh chapter manager of the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. It's always good to talk to you, Allie. Thank you, and good luck with the celebration.
Thank you for having me, John. We always appreciate your help.
And coming up next, we're going to be talking to a board member of Literacy Pittsburgh. We're going to find out what that organization's all about with board member Scott Bartlett. That's coming up next. You're listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through Storycorps Connect. With Storycorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StorycorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. Storycorps Connect. A message from AARP, Storycorps, and the Ad Council.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right. They can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing! Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
They say singing can help you remember things, so here's some tips for parents out there during these tough times. Number 1. Make sure your kids wash their hands for 20 seconds after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside. 2. Virtual play dates. Social and physical distancing can help save lives. 3. Tell them they're safe and show your love and pride. Yes, we'll get through this together. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And welcome back, and thank you for listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning, a public affairs program shedding the light on the issues of the greater Pittsburgh area. I'm your host, Johnny Hartwell. Our next topic is Literacy Pittsburgh. What is Literacy Pittsburgh? Well, this is an organization that helps adults here in Allegheny County and also Beaver County who need to get high school credentials or brush up on math or learn English, improve reading, and gain workplace skills. And our next guest is a member of the board of directors for Literacy Pittsburgh, Scott Bartlett. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
All right, so let's start here. What is the history and the background of Literacy Pittsburgh?
Literacy Pittsburgh was founded in 1982. It's an all-volunteer agency. It's serving about 100 students at that time. Typically, we're reaching more than 5,000 individuals each year. We have more than 700 volunteers now, giving 75,000 hours of their time on average. And literacy is thought of as just about reading, but it's actually so very much more, as you mentioned. And organizations like ours play a vital role in the economic recovery of our country.
So you said volunteers. You have 700 volunteers. What exactly do they do? In what capacity?
We have volunteers that are serving both on the board, like myself, as well as primarily serving as tutors. And we're always seeking tutors, people to become a volunteer as a tutor. And about half of our students are taught by these trained volunteer tutors. No teaching experience is necessary, and we train and support them.
So you're talking about somebody with a life experience, and you kind of train them to maybe help some of these people who are looking to learn or to gain advanced skills.
Oh, absolutely, yes. We like to call these skills, and we talk about skills development, and particularly a lot of the middle skill areas, in the medical profession, in the healthcare, in serving others, taking care of the elderly. But these skills are so vital and so important, and we have so many of our adult population that really needs help in learning, and again, beyond reading.
So how did you get involved, and what exactly? Since you're a volunteer, what do you do normally? What's your 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job?
Well, I work for PPG here in Pittsburgh, and I'm actually involved in the supply chain. And as a leader at PPG, we're encouraged to support and get involved with our communities, and really it's part of our PPG way. And frankly, I was very passionate about this area of particularly supporting some of the underserved communities, as well as my passion is around that, the most important thing in a child's life for their education is having an adult, a guardian who has education, and that's where my passion for Literacy Pittsburgh began, and I serve on the board now. I'm in my 4th year.
You're listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning. We're talking to Scott Bartlett on the board of directors for Literacy Pittsburgh. So you said you've been there for 4 years. What exactly do you do now? What is your role for Literacy Pittsburgh?
Well, I'm on the board of directors, and I also serve on the nominating committee to bring in additional board of directors. And we support the organization in terms of strategy and development, and as well as support fundraising.
Now, September is Literacy Month, and so we're trying to get the word out exactly what Literacy Pittsburgh does. Who is generally the people, the students? You said, how many students do you generally have at any one time?
About 5,000.
And describe, what are some of the classes that are offered with Literacy Pittsburgh?
Well, first I just talk about who do we help. We help the adults in Allegheny County, Beaver County, who need to get a high school credential, brush up on math, learn English, improve reading, and gain workplace skills. And, what we do is really help adults become ready and relevant for the workforce. All classes and tutoring are free to students. Instruction is personalized according to a student's goals and current skill levels. Students learn exactly what they need, no waste of time. All teaching is online at the present time, as we know, and during these times of the COVID and the pandemic. And we really want to help students get access to technology and the Internet, lifting a significant barrier to learning for many of the adult learners that we support.
These classes are free. I didn't realize that. So is there a sign-up process?
There's actually you can learn by going to the Literacy Pittsburgh webpage. There's also a number that you can call and get the information to get signed up.
Okay. Now, with the COVID situation, organizations like Literacy Pittsburgh play a vital role in the recovery of our economy. So how has Literacy Pittsburgh dealt with COVID?
Well, right now, all teaching is happening online. This happens in real time via Zoom. In most cases, students who need access to technology, if they let us, know when they sign up, we have a limited supply of equipment available to loan to students. We may be able to help with broadband access as well. And the first step, as mentioned, is to sign up for orientation. It's actually at startclassnow.org, and orientation is currently done virtually.
You're listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning. We're talking to Scott Bartlett, who's on the board of directory of Literacy Pittsburgh, and you can get more information on their organization at literacypittsburgh.org. So, how can potential students how can they get help?
We know that there are many people in need, and that's why we're trying to get the word out about our services. We know times are tough, and we want to make the decision to brush up on your skills and get your credentials as easy as possible. Students can either work one-on-one with the volunteer tutor or enroll in a class with one of our professional instructors. Students who work with a volunteer tutor should expect to meet 2 times per week and 2 hours each time. If you opt to attend classes, your class schedule will depend on your current abilities and your goals. There are morning, afternoon, and evening classes. Most sessions are about 1.5 hours.
All right, so it's not a huge commitment. It's just a couple hours a week just to get you brushed up or to get you acclimated to some of the skills that you guys provide.
Absolutely. We will work with our students really to do what's best for their schedule, and we're really work-friendly as well.
All right. At orientation, students learn about what to expect. What is the expectation for Literacy Pittsburgh?
So students will take an assessment so we know exactly what skills they need to work on. Assessments are done virtually for English language learners, and both virtually and in person with mask and distancing for students working on their high school equivalency, math or reading. Our program is highly goal-oriented, and we track students' progress towards goals such as getting their high school credential, going on to job training, or obtaining employment or becoming a U.S. citizen even.
Okay, so we only have a couple of minutes left. So if somebody is interested in learning some classes, you mentioned just to go to literacypittsburgh.org to get more information. But you also mentioned that you have almost 700 volunteers, and I'm sure you're always looking for additional help. If somebody wanted to support Literacy Pittsburgh, what do they do? Or what kind of volunteer are you looking for?
Yeah, so really, we're looking for someone who, is got a little bit of flexibility. It's not a huge time commitment. The time commitment is about 4 hours per week, split over 2 teaching sessions. You will meet at days and at times that are convenient for both you and the student. Volunteers are asked to commit to at least 6 months of tutoring to create consistency and build some rapport with their students. And, it's a pretty simple process. Just go to literacypittsburgh.org/volunteers to sign up for training.
literacypittsburgh.org/volunteers. How is this paid for? Is this a government program?
More than a third of our budget comes from donations from individuals, foundations, and corporations. The remaining portion comes from government sources, which has been cut due to the strain, obviously, on state budgets.
So if somebody wants to make a donation or volunteer, what's the process there?
If you visit literacypittsburgh.org/donate, it'll walk you through all the steps.
All right, so September is Literacy Month. Literacy Pittsburgh helping people here in Allegheny County and Beaver County get the skills. Now, I'm sure you get a lot of people who are immigrants, people who are coming in who are looking to learn English, and you help them out in that way. Or if there's somebody who is just looking to improve their economic situation, you have classes for all walks of people, all adults here in Allegheny County.
Absolutely. Those hardest hit will be immigrants, minorities, those with limited education are most affected by, this situation. 54,000 adults over the age of 25 in Allegheny lack a high school diploma, and 7.3% of individuals in Allegheny speak a language other than English at home.
All right, so if you would like to sign up for classes, or if you want more information on the classes, or if you like, if you have any kind of interest in any of their programs, or what they're about, or if you'd like to volunteer, or if you'd like to contact them, just go to literacypittsburgh.org. Scott Bartlett, board member of Literacy Pittsburgh, thank you so much for your time.
And we really want to put an emphasis there and reach those individuals and get their high school credential and enter training for all available jobs.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, and good luck. If you have any comments, concerns, or an idea for a future program, please email us from this radio station website. And if you'd like to re-listen to this program as a podcast or share its content, it's now available on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Johnny Hartwell. Thank you so much for listening to Pittsburgh Sunday Morning.